Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Miseducation of Everything Black. I am Chase the Truth. I could not sleep, and so I actually decided to go live. Wanted to just hop on real quick. Don't really know if anyone is up this late, but decided to really just take a shot in the dark here and go live. And wanted to talk about something that has been in the news recently. First and foremost, I'm not sure if you guys heard, but Chadwick Boseman actually passed away recently, and he passed away at the age of 43. 2020 has been a whirlwind for most people, and I myself, I am a huge Marvel fan. I'm a huge comic book fan. Obviously, I like everyone else. Absolutely love the movie Black Panther. Was anticipating Black Panther 2, and at this point, I'm kind of curious to see if they actually even have Black Panther 2. I'm assuming they've shot some scenes already with Chadwick, and it was supposed to be released, I believe, actually this coming summer, either this coming summer or maybe this coming fall. But either way, now with his passing, I do wonder if that's going to happen now or what's going to happen with that. He was just an amazing, talented actor. He was someone that I feel a lot in the black community looked up to, and he, of course, will sadly be missed. I looking at pictures of him, I did, I think a lot of people thought that he was sick or was ill, and it turns out, obviously, he was suffering from cancer, and he did a wonderful job of keeping it secret, of not talking about it with everyone. And I actually respect that. Reason being is because it allows us to remember Chadwick as he was, as the king, as Wakanda forever. I mean, those are the memories we'll have of Chadwick. I think if he would have said, "Hey, I'm dealing with cancer," immediately people will just naturally, start feeling sorry for him, start thinking about, what he's going through or what he was going through at that time, versus just now how we are remembering how he was, and just obviously prayers for him and his family. I wanted to dig into the RNC. There has been quite a lot of coonery going on at the RNC. I'm sure you guys have been watching it. First, we have Herschel Walker. Um, I'm gonna actually jump on a little bit later, maybe tomorrow during the afternoon, and actually talk about some of the other members or some of the other members of the black community who spoke at the RNC. Herschel Walker and Kimberly Klasick. Those two I want to talk about specifically, and hopefully I'll jump on either, like I said, later tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, because I definitely want to have a conversation about them. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. They just literally, my heart literally sank into my chest. Hearing Herschel Walker speak, I was disgusted. I was absolutely disgusted. I was ashamed. Um, I thought that maybe they had his family, like they had his family, they kidnapped him and they were holding them for ransom or something, because I just could not fathom why Herschel Walker was talking this way about a known racist. But like I said, we'll dig in that tomorrow. I wanted to actually talk about, surprise, surprise, I actually wanted to talk about Candace Owens. Now, if you guys follow me on social media, you know that I do not have the greatest impression of Candace Owens. I don't like her at all. I think she is a coon. I think she is a house slave, and I just have no respect for Candace Owens at all. I'll be honest, I was actually a little surprised when she didn't get the invite to speak at the RNC. Up until now, I actually didn't know that she wasn't invited. I know the last night of the RNC was the other evening, but it was just I was shocked and surprised that she wasn't anywhere to be found. Obviously, she has been the poster child for, black people to join the Republican Party by basically talking ill about her own people, her own race. Most notably, talking about George Floyd and bringing up his career history after he was murdered in broad daylight by four police officers. But this article I found, it's the I'm guessing it's the Houston Chronicle, but it's the Houston Cron, and they actually talk about how Candace Owens wasn't invited to the RNC. So let me dig into the article just a little bit here. So it starts, of course, explaining here. Let's read. Candace Owens was not included on the list of people speaking at the Republican National Convention, and some people are quite happy about it. Owens, a black conservative, isn't a favorite in many circles. One of them being the black community. Surprise, surprise. Her social and political commentary has come under the fire multiple times with heavy reporting that Owens has been an open supporter of President 45 and created Blexit, a movement to discourage black Americans from voting with the Democratic Party. She was more recently slammed for bringing up George Floyd's record after his death. And she also made claims that the National Right, or the NRA, started as a civil rights organization to protect African Americans from the KKK. Um, so let's start there, because that's actually a place where I just have to laugh. I really do. Um, so Candace Owens, of course, naturally, we all know that I feel personally that she hates herself. I think something has happened to her to where she has been traumatized and she hates looking into the mirror. I think she hates looking into the mirror. I think she hates what she sees, and she's lashing out and projecting that onto the rest of the African American community. Um, what she said about George Floyd was just absolutely disgusting. The man was calling out for his mother being murdered by four police officers. One of them, of course, standing, or excuse me, kneeling on his neck. Um, no matter, just seeing that, just hearing his screams, how Candace could not have any sympathy for a man like that, and to say, hey, you know what? There actually is something wrong with the system. But instead, she focuses on George Floyd's history as a criminal to justify, or at least to make people of no color feel better about him being murdered. Because essentially, that is what Candace Owens is. She is a Trojan horse of sorts for people of no color, specifically in the Republican Party. She has spent the last 4 years really, speaking ill of the African American community and looking to, as the article stated, really inspire the Brexit movement, telling black Americans that the Democratic Party is no good and everyone needs to go over to the Republican Party. Um, that in itself, I feel, is just quirky. Because I'll be honest, I don't think anyone truly, really believes, and I'm speaking, of course, from the perspective of African Americans. I don't know if anyone truly, truly believes that the Republican Party or the Democratic Party has the best interest in mind for African Americans. I know a lot of African Americans vote Democrat, and I think maybe some African Americans might start voting more for Republican. But the problem is, we represent 13% of the population. We've been here for over 500 years. We only represent under 5% of the wealth. The Democrat or Republican, that's not the problem. The problem is that we've been oppressed for nearly 500 years. So it doesn't matter if we vote for 45 or if we vote for Biden. The fact is, we need people in office that understand that we have been suppressed once again for over 500 years. And that's not going to change until we have people who are like minded into office. Barack Obama obviously started that, and I'm hoping Biden will continue that. But either way, I don't feel that, the Brexit movement is anything other than the Republicans' version, or people of no color's version, of a Trojan horse. They essentially are using Candace Owens to get black people to vote for the Republican Party. They have no interest in helping the lives of black people because they could have done that in the last 500 years. Their only interest is getting black votes in order to get power. Their interest in no way, shape, or form has anything to do with actually seeing black people succeed. And so Candace Owens spent the last 4 years just completely destroying the black community, the black family, whatever the case may be, talking ill about all of those topics at the will of the Republican Party. And look what happened. She did all of that work, all of those efforts, and she wasn't even invited to talk at the RNC. That is absolutely that brings a smile to my face. That right there is justice. That right there is karma. I think back to the black men and women back in the 30s, back in the 40s that literally built pipes underground in America. In various American cities and various American towns, they were the workers building the pipes. Can you imagine after all of that hard work, working for less than minimum wage, working in the hot sun, building those pipes on a very hot day, wanting to go drink water from those very same pipes, and there's a big sign that says for whites only. That that's essentially what's going on here with Candace Owens. She spent all that time sowing that, sowing those seeds of discord in the black community, telling them, oh, the Democrats are no good, speaking ill of the black community. All the while, people of no color are just clapping their hands, egging her on, telling her that she's doing a great job. And lo and behold, on the biggest night of the RNC, Candace Owens isn't invited. See, she's been used, and now that they have no more use for her, there's no need for her to be invited or to talk. It's very telling. It really truly is, and I hope Candace Owens is, hopefully taking what is happening right now, looking back and going, you know what, this isn't right. But of course, I'm assuming because of who she is, she probably is not going to be doing that. So just moving on, the article just, obviously people within, social media have just been grinning ear to ear about this, myself included. Because really, I mean, of all people, it definitely should have been Candace Owens. You would think, with all the rhetoric that comes out of her mouth, you would think at the very least she would have maybe had like 5, 10 seconds to say something, but I mean, they didn't even give her that. Once again, that's very telling. It is very telling. Well, anyways, you guys, well, once again, thank you for joining me. I am Chase the Truth. This has been a little installment here of the miseducation of everything black. Like I said, I couldn't sleep tonight, so wanted to hop on and talk about Candace Owens, get that off my chest. And now that I've done that, hopefully I can go lie down and have a good night's sleep. Tomorrow, like I said, we'll dig into Kimberly Klacik and Herschel Walker. I have some things to say about them, which, once again, I was just saddened to hear what Herschel Walker. I love football. I absolutely love football. I can't say necessarily that I followed his career. I was a little bit too young to really appreciate him as an athlete, but gosh, I'm glad I didn't, because I would have liked him, and to hear what he said now, I mean, ugh. Once again, thank you for joining me here. I'm Chase the Truth. This has been the Miseducation of Everything Black. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.